Hey, on your knees everyone, and today I'm gonna show you my second game from the first round of the latest ESL championship that I play against Monster Orc. If you guys recall, I won the first game, and in the second game my opponent chose his faction first, which was the Empire, and I decided to counter it with the vampires, right? So look at that. We are starting at a very appropriate location. So this map is the Ashenfall. And yeah, let's go through my armor composition. Just before we start, so I needed if I won this one, I would have won the first round, and so I really wanted to make it count. So as for my army, guys, I started with 3 units of zombies up front, just for that mid shield. Then I have 2 Cairn Wraiths. They are fast and they are armor piercing and they are ethereal, of course. So if he doesn't have magic damage, these guys can do really well. And I decided to not go with the creep horrors for now. And I brought the Mortis engine and I brought the Red Duke on a horse. I didn't want to put him in the air because if my opponent went hard, in the air harass, I would have just died. And he doesn't have a Spirit Leech, so he can't really do damage except for straight up fighting with the lords. And of course I have a unit of Stursmen. I feel like not bringing a unit of Stursmen is almost like a blasphemy, if this can be applied to the undead, of course. And then I have a regular Grave Guard to support, and then on the flanks I have 2 units of the Skeleton Spearmen. I have a unit of Bats just to fly around and harass him, harass his archers, skirmishers if he brings too many. And here in the forest I have the Dire Pack, hidden quite far on the edge of the map, and I have 2 units, 1 Blood Knight and 1 Varix Reavers. I think for some reason many people overlook these guys, the Varix Reavers, but I actually happen quite to like them. Every time when I pick them in the battle, in the battle screen after the battle, they always ended up with the most kills. So I actually really like them in this matchup. So again, let's go to my opponent. He has, he's rocking the Empire, and his lords are Boris Todbringer, and the Empire Captain, both flying on the Pegasi. And they spot my bats and they start chasing. So I immediately try to just pull my bats around or do some fancy footwork just to scare these guys away. And then for his front line, he has an unbreakable front line. He has 4 flagellants. One of them is the Terror Souls, and of course he has Sigmar's Sons, who will never run away, right? And then he has the Ember Wizard with a Flock of Doom, and I think it Pan's Impenetrable Pelt, I think. Yes. And then he has 2 units of Spearmen on each flank, and he has just 1 unit of Skirmishers, which are the Silver Bulls, which are actually, it's a very good unit against the ethereal units of the vampires. And then on each flank he has Knights of the Blazing Sun, again, a really great pick against undead, because they do this fire damage that really hurts their regeneration. The units with regeneration, like creep horrors. And hidden, he has the Royal Eldorf Griffites. So again, I love this army. Probably the only minor thing I would just change is I would have brought maybe 1 more unit of handgunners or militia. I don't know, any skirmishers. But aside of this, I think this is a really good anti-vampire army. So let's see how it goes. So my opponent just sees that I only have 1 flying unit and he wants to get rid of these bats, and I just try to distract them, his lords. But anyway, he decides to go on a reconnaissance mission, right? And unfortunately I pop out of the forest. For sure, I didn't mean to, but I think they become, here they become visible. And my opponent immediately sees that and he sends his Empire Captain, I think, to scout. And then he discovers my knights, which I wanted to keep hidden. But, well, nothing we can do. And looks like he is just content about sitting here, and he casts the Flock of Doom on my Stearnsmen. I think this is not the best move, because first of all, of course, they're quite isolated. I can just pull them out, and as you can see, it doesn't really hurt anybody else except for the Stearnsmen. But as you can see, it did about 1,000 HP damage, which is a lot. They started with 6,000 HP, but their regeneration is kicking in. They regen about 4 HP per second, and they didn't lose any models. So I think the Flock of Doom would have been much more effective on the Cairn Wraiths. But anyway, So by the time they go into the fight, they will regen a lot. And now I see that he's pulling his Knights of the Blazing Sun, and I decide to intercept. But there is an interception of my interception going on, and you can see my opponent is really good, but this is just Knights of the Blazing Sun, and they attack my Blood Knights, which is not good. And I was so busy microing here and patching my dogs through that I actually missed that, you know, his Silver Bullets, they're just annihilating my Karn race. Look at that, 2 volleys. This guy's lost just 1 model, but half HP. And a great Flock of Doom coming from the Wizard of Beasts, and I counter it with the what's that? With the where is this? Oh yeah, oh, Pan's Impenetrable Pelt is dropping on this Knights of Blazing Sun. I counter with the Invocation of Nehek, and now you can see it's just Havoc. So I pull out my Cairn Wraiths, and he sends his Aldorf Griffites into the fray. So we can see like my Blood Knights, they just dumpster his Knights of the Blazing Sun. But here come his Royal Eldorf Griffites. They're gorgeous, but looks like they're charging into the Spearmen, which is great with me. I pull out my Blood Knights. I really want to get rid of his cavalry so that I can just, you know, roam around and harass his bullets. And yeah, he tries to attack the Blood Knights, but they cannot pierce through the Spearmen. And I get a nice charge through my Spearmen. And another brilliant Flock of Doom. I think the Jade Wizard couldn't wish for a Ember Wizard, sorry, couldn't wish for a better location for this. You can see his Silver Bullets scored 23 kills already, and his Lord is coming back. And I just pulled my Cairn Race as far as I could, and I just decided to park them there. And I'm really scared. They lost half the models. I mean, not half the models, more than half health, and 13 models. And you can see his Silver Bullets just keep harassing. Now they're shooting my Red Duke. And also Boris is on him, and I see that, and I immediately charge everything I have into Boris. As you can see, I really want to catch him, but he's smart and he pulls Boris away. But so everybody who meant to harass Boris now just jumps on this poor soul Empire Knight, who was unfortunate enough to jump in. Now you can see he smartly switches his Silver Bullets on my Mortis engine. I think this is what you should do, and I just drop an Invocation of Nehek to heal them up. And a big micro mistake. When I was trying to lure his lords after my bats, I left them all the way out there. So now it's just taking them forever to come back. They could have been really useful to kill his, to kill his Silver Bullets. And now you can see this is a mosh pit, but I don't know how. The balance bar is, it seems to be in my favor since the beginning of the game. And I mean, I lost 500 troops almost. He barely lost 200. So looks like on paper it's going well for him, but the balance bar favors me. I don't know why. And of course I just, keep all this harassment, and I summon the skeletons and zombies around, and you can see the Spearmen fighting my Varix Rivers, which is not great for me, but I managed to rout his Royal Eldorf Griffites. They only killed 24, which I think is underwhelming. And yeah, finally my bats are going to Silver Bullets, but they're getting intercepted by Boris. And another beautiful Flock of Doom going up, just beautiful. This is the best area for it. And I can see, you can see I just tried to wrap up his Knights of the Blazing Sun. He has one healthy group here with 63 kills. They charged into the infantry before, into zombies and spears. And now you can see his Empire Captain is in trouble. He's surrounded by the Dire Pack, and then the Cairn Wraiths are on him as well. And I put my second unit of Cairn Wraiths somewhere in the middle. Ah, yeah, here they are. So they are fighting Sigmar Sons, which is not bad. And finally my bats managed to jump on his Silver Bullets. My opponent smartly pulls out just a little bit, and look at this point blank fire now into all this mass, into my Sternsman, into Red Duke in a while, and then another Flock of Doom. Of course, these zombies are summoned, so I don't really care for them, and they will disintegrate over time anyway. But I decided to drop an Invocation of Nehek on the Mortis engine and the area, and I'm now trying to get his Ember Wizard. I was so pissed with these Flocks of Dooms, and you can see the balance bar is so heavily in my favor. And now his units start to melt. These Flagellants, they have no armor, so basically anyone can kill them. And now you can see his Silver Bullets are shooting so aggressively at my Lord, who managed to rout the Ember Wizard. But if I lose my Lord, that wouldn't be so obvious, maybe the win. So I really want to save him. And now I patch my dogs through this gap, and I try to go after his silver bullets. And you can see he actually brings Boris into this fight of the cavalry, and he managed to hurt my Blood Knights, who got 53 kills by now. So I switch, I put the Spearman on him, and I wanted to bog him down. And here he comes to kill my Red Duke. I completely missed this Empire Captain, and you can see my Duke is crumbling. So I tried to put him closer to the Mortis engine for this heal, and I didn't have any Winds of Magic left by that time, so I couldn't really use the Invocation of Nehek. And this guy dies. So that was foolish of me. But anyway, I was just so calm for some reason. The balance bar is so heavily in my favor. Like, practically, I think it's very hard to save this game. And you can see this, just, you know, pimp cart is just going around. 38 kills on the Mortis engine is no joke, and if you add up all this drain, it'll be just huge. And you can see this Flagellants have been fighting the Skeleton Spearmen and the zombies that whole time, and now basically he has no infantry left. You can see the Griffites are finally routed. 36 kills is not that much. He has only 2 lords, and basically the captain is almost dead. Sigmar Sons, I just ignore them because they are unbreakable. I just want to kill his one healthy remaining silver bullets unit. And I think a big mistake of me was not shutting it down earlier. So you can see it has 2 ammo left, which means I basically let them shoot their, you know, the whole ammunition on me. And I mean, for now it's really hard to recommend anything for the you know, for the Empire player. I mean, what if you jump? What will you jump here? There's nothing to jump. You'll be just smacked. And of course, you know, these guys are still fighting, but basically he has only 6 units of Flagellants and 24 units of Sigmar Sons, who killed 84 for the remaining. And you can see now it's just terror out, because the balance bar was so heavily in my favor. And I just turn and wrap up the Sigmar Sons, and you can see, let's look at this fight. So there are 3, 4 Flagellants fighting these 10 Skeleton Spears who are disintegrating. You can see now there are 3 left, 4 left, no, still 4. Killing, boom, boom. 4 Flagellants versus, looks like 5 spears. Ooh, nice smack. 3 Flagellants left, and the Skeletons disintegrate. So the Flagellants, ooh, that was a nice karate kick. Look at that. And all these corpses are just falling off. But these Flagellants have no really time to cheer, because they have this. Let's look at this. So they have this army with beautiful green horses riding their way. So yeah, they were very happy for a split second, and then they get overrun. And I take this fight home. And with this I win the series 2-0. And what can I say? I think in this fight, I felt like I was making much more mistakes. Much more mistakes than in my first fight. Micro mistakes, like I let my cannon rays get dumpstered really quickly. I lost my Lord, which could have been fatal. My cavalry did okay, and I just completely lost my bats, and they did nothing. The dogs were underwhelming. So I think I played really bad in this fight, but somehow I won more confidently than the first fight. I don't know how to explain. It's weird, and I think the build of my opponent was perfect. I mean, look at all those kills. Of course, those guys, they just got tired going through the fodder for all those summoned zombies and skeleton warriors and everything. I think the key moment for him was just getting this cavalry trash can when they charged my Blood Knights. This wasn't great. This is an Knights of the Blazing Sun are the anti-infantry cavalry. They're not meant to fight Blood Knights. I mean, nobody is meant to fight Blood Knights, let's be certain. But I think the loss of these 2 cavalry units made my opponent pay the price. These guys, you can see, they were really good. And the silver bullets, I think they were the MVPs. The 57 kills doesn't give them justice, because they were shooting at the Lord, they were shooting at the Mortis engine. I hope in the future, where they add the actual HP damage that these guys inflicted, they would have much more impressive score. And the Spearman did okay, and of course the 0 on the Ember Wizard doesn't tell anything, because the Flock of Doom just kills it, shitload of infantry every time he casts. and the Boris was okay. But anyway, I think it's just I don't even know what else except for the for losing cavalry my opponent did wrong. And yeah, you can see he had 85 remaining and I had 400 troops remaining. So very tough fight, but the balance bar seemed to be in my favor the whole time. And with this, I took the series home, and I was up, for the second round, where I was facing a stronger opponent. But I will talk about this in my next video. So thanks for watching, and bye everyone.